Last time on Pro Rough Stock, bareback rider Jared Smith hit the 90-point mark with a spectacular ride on Barty Rodeo's Misperception. This Florida rider, who now makes his home in Texas, has never bucked off in 3 years of PRS competition. In bull riding, it was a red-letter day for 18-year-old Garrett Tribble. He matched the PRS all-time high score for a bull rider with a 92, and it was spectacular on Hal's Cosmo Cowboy. And in bronc riding, Luke Butterfield has taken more PRS prize money north of the border to Canada than any rider in PRS history. But he hasn't won an event title in 2 years. Will today be the day he returns to the winner's circle? It's all about to unfold here in the Pacific Northwest as we bring you the Wrangler Final Four Showdown round of the Pro Rough Stock Cascade Challenge. Welcome once again to the Xfinity Center here in downtown Everett, Washington. The fans are coming in on a beautiful evening here in the Pacific Northwest. It's the Wrangler Final Four Showdown round of the Cascade Challenge. Hello, everybody. I'm Justin McKee alongside world champion bareback rider Kelly Timberman and the world traveler PBR finalist Cord McCoy. We're pleased to have you here on RFD TV tonight for the PRS event. Tonight, we have narrowed the field down to Final Four riders in bareback, saddle bronc, and bull riding, and we will crown the champions. A couple of things we know for sure. We will have 3 new champions this year, and Cord, the leaderboard will change in at least one of the world standings.
Well, you look at the bull riding already. Shane Rickley is #1, and he's going back and forth with Garrett Tribble. But Garrett Tribble has won enough in the round 1 to move himself back into that #1 spot. And he did it in a fine fashion. 92 points to tie McKenna Wimberly and Dave Sampson for the highest mark ride in the PRS bull history. Not only that, it's his personal best. So this little Okie is hot and ready to ride.
In bareback riding, we didn't see the unbelievable rides that we did see last year with our 3 highest scored bareback rides ever. However, we did hit 90 points with a Florida rider who is moving up the charts in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's Jared Smith. I'm so proud of the way he's riding this year. He's got so much confidence and aggressiveness. He's a 2-time career winner and a 2013 PRS World Finalist. But I'm really looking forward to the battle between him and old Smiley Caleb Bennett. Caleb is a 3-time PRS World Finalist, but he has never won a Trace Rio Silver's Championship buckle. He was a 1.5 points from a title in Council Bluffs a year ago. And guess who finished first that night? That's right, Jared Smith. Yeah. Tonight is the rematch, and I believe Caleb's got the shot at getting it done after his career-high 88-point ride last week.
As we get ready to ride, just a reminder that you can go to ProRoughStock.com at any time for more on each of the riders, including up-to-date stats and personal profiles. So here we go. First up in the chutes is a guy who's making his first ever Final Four Showdown round appearance, Nick Gutweiler from Wenatchee, Washington, over the mountains in about 2.5 hours east of Everett, and he's on Mac the Knife from Survey Rodeo.
I was so impressed with this young man last week, and he's a tall kid. He's about 6 foot. Really had a good start last week. Now this ride, he started the horse, but he didn't have that contact and that aggressiveness with his feet. You can see right here, this left foot's going to drop back, and that horse is going to get away from him. You got to keep those horses up underneath you. That's why that start is so important. You could see it affected every part of the ride after that.
The judge is going to hammer him. He's a long ways from that 85.5. He'll go 77 points, but he does have 2 rides, 162.5 on 2 as we go to the reigning world champion, Brian Bain from Powell Butte, Oregon. They didn't buck him off at all last year.
Lover boy from Barty. This is another guy that's just awesome with his feet and his legs. He always gets a good start, and when he's dragging those feet up that horse's neck and using that big body of his, he makes those horses stay collected up underneath him and makes the horse better. Watch right here when he really lifts, gets a hold with his feet. He's in contact before that horse's front feet hit the ground, dragging all the way to this rigging handle. His control is perfect.
83 points. He'll take the lead with 170 on 2. Now let's go to Smiley Caleb Bennett from Utah. He's never won a Pro Rough Stock event. He's number 5 in the standings, and he's trying to win. He's got to beat Jared Smith. He is on Romantic Belle from Barty.
Oh, this is a fun horse. Going to circle right around to the left, and he should just eat her up. This is the one everybody wants to draw. Good start, a lot of drag, doing really good, kind of getting a little bit close to the fence. Horse doesn't bother her at all.
Didn't bother Caleb either.
Man, that was a good ride.
Oh, he had the lockdown on that one.
Let's watch him here. You know, the one thing is he never, not one time went for any exposure points. Now, on a horse that's that nice to ride, a guy should definitely want to get up there, and he's hitting her low on this side, so the judges probably saw that in the ride, but still, man, that should be, yeah, I'm getting nitpicky there.
Yes, you are. Long Grow, he was 88 for a career high for him. 88 again, 176 points, trying to win his first ever Trace Rios buckle. And we go to Jared Smith, the guy who robbed it from him at Council Bluffs last year on Millie League from Barty. Needs an 86.5 to win.
Whew. Boy, what a good start. Direction change, difficulty. He stayed consistent and then really finished a great ride there. That was twice the horse from Caleb Bennett in about, we'll say 3/4 of the ride, but he took so much to keep his composure and control. Man, I mean, that was a good ride on a rank, hard-to-ride horse. Let's see what the judges
He needs
do.
an 86.5 to win, and he gets it. He's going to steal the win from Caleb Bennett. Caleb's still short on winning an outright event title. So Jared Smith gets the win, and he did get some advice on the bucking horses in the championship round from Caleb Bennett out of Utah, who knows those Barty horses well.
Caleb lied completely. Said it was supposed to be a nice horse. She was kind of a handful, not the most desirable horse, but enough to get the job done, I guess. It worked out. Kind of started slow, kind of didn't really jump and kick, and didn't have a lot of action, didn't feel like it at the beginning, but kind of there towards the middle, she come around off that fence and just kind of kept trying to spur and trying to finish it out and see where the cards, how the cards fell.
With his third career title, Jared Smith will inch just a bit closer to another Jared Keelan, and the top spot in the world standings. We'll update those later on, but first, can young Garrett Tribble regain his world #1 ranking in bull riding? Find out next.
So Garrett, when I asked you in Mercedes, Texas, why you started bull riding, you told me that you studied the movie 8 Seconds. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, I just would put it in every day and watch it. I mean, just made me really like the sport of rodeo and bull riding especially, and just kind of taught me a lot.
Now, if there's one thing that you remember about Lane Frost, what is it?
His character. He held himself real well. Didn't like to brag about anything. Always gave it his all and never quit. And that's keeps me going, really.
Well, he has certainly chosen a good role model to pattern himself after. Lane Frost was certainly a legend. Cord, let's talk about Garrett Tribble's competition. Where's it going to come from tonight?
Well, Sonny Murphy, for one. He's in his second straight Final Four after finishing third in Amarillo. Sean Miranda has enjoyed success in nearly every pro bull riding circuit there ever was. And there's John Young. He's drawn Poison Control, a bull McKinnon Wembley won Portland on last year. A rider-friendly bull that John will do well on. The problem is the math does not work in his favor. If everyone bucks off and John manages to ride, he still needs to be 92.5 points for the win. Not sure he can do that, but we'll see here pretty quick.
Indeed we will. As we go to the bucking shoes, the first one up is the Orient, Iowa Cowboy, John Young, and John was the winner in Council Bluffs last year in his home state. As you mentioned, McKenna Wimberly rode this bull on his way to the win in Portland last year with an 88.5. Can John match that? Can he hang on for 8?
Oh, you see those hot streaks
Rough
that
Cuts,
McKinnon
the
goes
official
on and
PRS
Dave
fan
Sampson went on
newsletter is
last
ready
year
for
and made
delivery
some of
into
those
your
tough bulls
inbox.
just
Just
look
go
easy.
to
This wasn't
ProRoughStock.com
one of them.
and
He's
subscribe
supposed to ride
for
this one.
free. It will be
he's
delivered
gonna get
every
there,
other week with
and
news,
he does.
videos, podcasts, ticket information,
away from
and
his
merchandise
hand.
special
Gave him
deals.
some money,
As we
chops,
get
a
ready
little
for the bull
window
riding,
dressing,
see
if you
all
will.
eyes are on 18-year-old Garrett Tribble,
We'll
who
take
I
it, we'll
understand
take it.
takes his inspiration from a
84
movie
points
featuring famous
for
bull
John
rider
Young.
Lane Frost.
He's
2 years
with
ago, he
Taylor
won the
Zadell.
Ram National Circuit Finals and Pro Rodeos. We go now to Sean Miranda of Ruidoso, New Mexico. He's on that smaller bull, Rowan's Wild Child.
I've seen Sean make some great rides. In the long round last week, away from his hand, made so many good corrections.
Oh, no.
just right at the end there. And, you know, this bull was supposed to fit him better than last week's bull. Right in the gate, into his hand. Just when you think you got it won, you drop your trophy, and there it goes.
Ooh, he had it. Ooh, he had it.
Just strung him out. Oh,
Raised him up, stretched him out.
check out the dirt. Make sure it's hard. Been there.
Yeah.
Done that.
And he takes a fast trip to the ground right there. So, unfortunate no score for Sean, who was riding great. Let's go down to Sonny Murphy out of Utah, was third in Amarillo at the last event this season. He's on Thundercat, the unridden bull last year from Lazy HK Bar.
That bull getting off the ground and making some. Oh, I thought he was going to make the recovery there.
Uh-oh, got a spur hung in the bull rope.
Oh, you know, most of the time, if a bull hits the fence, it's going to cause a problem. But he was in bad shape when that bull hit the fence, and I thought there for a second it was going to get him back up on there, but
almost a great
just
recovery.
hung out there.
Almost a great recovery.
Yeah, bull riding itself is scary enough. You go dragging behind one, it adds a little to it.
So now let's go to the number 2 rider in the world. Garrett Tribble, the 18-year-old, is on Barty's Alamo. He's already got the title locked up, but he would like to finish strong on this bull.
I don't think it makes any difference whether he's got it won or not. You always want to ride, and you always want to win away from his hand. We've seen him tested every direction.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
You see that bull catch another gear about 5 jumps into it? Woo, that
Didn't bother
impressive.
Garrett either.
Oh, that kid's slick. That kid's slick.
He is, and he's from Slick, Oklahoma.
Oh, man.
Here it comes.
It is.
Right there. He's winding her up. Boy, he matches him move for move. It don't matter how fast he goes, which direction he goes, how high up he goes. Garrett Tribble's got a counter move for him. He'll go 89 points, the only man to ride 2, and it looks like we may have a new number 1 after this weekend. Let's go to Kayla, who's got Garrett.
Yeah, he was kind of welly. It wanted me down on the inside the whole time, so I was trying to look to the outside. And when I got there, I was too far out, so he kind of had me right there. I couldn't do nothing, but gladly I made it. Hopefully I can keep the momentum rolling and keep riding bulls like I am. I watch a bunch of other people's videos like that I think do really good. I try to study them, see how they ride, and just to better myself.
Garrett's 2-head total of 181 also sets a PRS bull riding all-time record. Congratulations, Garrett. And we'll update the world standings later on the show. Now, I'm sure he'll be back on top of the world standings, but next up is Saddle Bronc, and Luke Butterfield, the former Canadian national champion, is ready to take a bit more PRS prize money back north of the border. We'll see how much next. Get to know your pro rough stock riders personally each week with the official PRS podcast, Masters of the Ride. You can find it from ProRoughStock.com. Just click on podcast. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Well, we've crowned champions in bareback and bull riding. Now it's time for Saddle Bronc, and Kayla Zadell talked with the Canadian Round 1 winner a short time ago.
Thanks, Justin. I had a chance to catch up with Saddle Bronc rider Luke Butterfield tonight, and he told me about his early days in playing hockey.
I played a year of junior B in my hometown, which is pretty bush league hockey, but yeah, I'd fight. I mean, the thing about hockey, there's referees and linesmen that break it up. There's nobody to break you up when you're on a Bronx. So, I mean, yeah, it's comparable, but I mean, there's always somebody there to rescue if you're getting whooped on too bad.
Kelly, I don't know if he's in for a fight tonight, but I know which goal he's shooting for. Let's take a minute and talk about Charlie Barker, though. He's the only guy in the Final Four round that was here last year as well.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about it, Charlie was 91.5 points on Painted Hills of Barty and still finished second behind Isaac Diaz. He'll need to go all out to move past the field into first place. Luke has Wild Side of Barty's, a Final Four horse from Portland last year, and I think this is the best pluck in the pen.
First up in the chutes is Charlie Barker from Powell Butte, Oregon. Home to our reigning world champion Brian Bain in bareback riding. Charlie Barker has got Merrimack from Barty Rodeo Company. This is the guy that is a true all-around, do-anything kind of a cowboy.
That's a wild start right out there.
Whoa! Stood him up.
Wild finish, too.
Yeah, it was. Started wild, ended wild.
That horse right there looks like she's done that before. And if I wouldn't,
I think they put the pads on there for bull riding. I think Bronc Rider's glad it was there too.
I'd like to go down there and talk to Daryl Barron and see what that was all about. I bet that horse has done that before, and nobody made him aware of it.
Man. No score
glad Charlie's
for Charlie
okay.
Barker. Yeah, let's go now to Colmar, Twin Butte, Alberta, as we go to the Cowboy from Canada on Major Ruby from Bar T.
This is sure a nice little horse. Going to be right in front of the chutes, just really blow up and let the Cowboy style out. She kind of stumbled right there and cost him a little bit, but, I mean, didn't move anywhere. Just want to be in one spot and kind of slow today.
Yeah, he kicked right there and then quit kicking for a few jumps and then kicked a couple times and then quit toward the end of the ride. And surely going to be reflected in the score. Colmar could have used a few more style points from the horse. 82 points. 82 for Call. Right now, he takes the lead, the only man to ride 2. As we go to the number 12 rider this season, Jade Blackwell from Rapid City on Miss Major from Barty Rodeo Company. Needs an 80.5 to take the lead.
Out of everybody that was here at this event, Jade started his horse the best in that first round, really made that horse stay up underneath him. And right here out of that big rare, got a good start, had to come back with his feet, but reached up and was ahead of that horse and made that horse a little bit better than she normally would.
That horse is solid. I think as far as for just getting that good score, he outdrawed the first two. The first couple of horses, kind of that wild ride, but this horse kicked every time, kept that saddle right underneath him. I thought was a classy horse to get.
Great spur ride to go along with it. Judges like the combo. 87 points. Well-deserved, 174, and that means Luke Butterfield, the last man to go, needs an 85.5 to win. Can he do it on Wild Side?
I like this. This horse was at Houston just a few weeks ago, and they won a round on her there. Coming in today, Luke is on fire. He's got a horse underneath him. He's got a lot of style, a lot of flash, flair. Judges love to see that. She's out of line, and he's just going at it. He's being aggressive, setting those feet up there, even when she's doing those direction changes. You've got to give some points to that aggressive ride.
Oh, yeah.
Got to give points to a horse like that.
She's a quickster, and I'm telling you what, Luke Butterfield was gassing it with his feet. I love this. Even in slow motion, this is a fast ride. There was a lot going on during that 8 seconds. He looked awesome. Judges loved it. 91 points, and Butterfield is going to get the title. Take a look at it. He dominates the competition here. 180 on 2 rides. That's nearing the numbers we had last year. Right now, Luke is the champ, and he's with Kayla.
Yeah, I had some direction change, but when direction change is as big a deal in the bronc ride, if they're kicking through it, and bucking, it's those ones that are not bucking, kind of swooping that are hard. But that was as good a horse as you could ask for in a deal like tonight. It was that was a great horse. The whole pen of broncs was awesome. That was a great bronc ride. The competition's tough, drawing right horse, and it's great. It's awesome. I like the PRS. I'm going to keep coming to them. And they're awesome.
More to come from Everett as we highlight the top performances of the night and update the world standings. Hey, Roughstock fans, before you watch the Super Bowl this year, make plans to attend the Roughstock Bowl 4. It's the 2015 PRS World Finals, January 15th to the 17th at the Amarillo National Center in Amarillo, Texas. Top 12 riders in bareback, saddle bronc, and bull riding will go up against the country's top livestock for bragging rights and a share of the more than $90,000 purse. Get your tickets now at ProRoughstock.com and don't miss a minute of Roughstock Bowl 4. And stay in touch with the PRS through one of the many social media outlets. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to us on Instagram. Also, Pro Roughstock has its own channel on YouTube where you can watch past episodes and more behind-the-scenes videos from the tour. Hey, gentlemen, let's check out our updated 2015 World Standings, and keep in mind that the top 12 riders at the end of the season are invited to the 2015 PRS World Finals.
Here we jump into first. Jared Keelan, he's still up there, but just slightly ahead of Matt Bright. And Jared Smith inched a little bit closer to the top spot, sitting at number 3.
I thought Jared might have jumped a little higher right there, but Jared Keelan just showing off how dominating his year has been so far. Let's take a look at the bull riding court.
Well, no surprise here this week. Garrett Tribble moves into number 1 after breaking records there. 92 and 89 points put together. Puts him back in number 1 spot. Shane Rickley moves down to number 2. Sonny Murphy down to number 4.
And looking at the saddle bronc, you got J.J. Elsher up there at that familiar spot in number 1. Eric Wolford right behind him. But big news, Luke Butterfield just jumped up to 8th place in the world standings.
Time to award the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight of the Night. And Cord, who do you have?
Well, I got to go with Garrett Tribble. I tell you what, he's going to remember the Alamo because this is the bull that took him to 89 points, moved him to number 1 in the PRS, set a record for highest in the average at a PRS event in the bull riding. What a slick ride for an Okie.
On the Alamo. There's nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw. Now let's hand out the top bucking honors with the Bismarck Ranch Big Buck of the Night. This award goes to the top performing animal. Kelly, you got it.
Yeah, my Bismarck Ranch Big Buck of the Night goes to Wild Side of Survey Pro Rodeo. Luke Butterfield had this horse in the bronc riding, and in slow motion, she still looks electric. What a ride, and what a great animal. 91 points for the bronc riding here at Everett.
The Bismarck Big Buck of the Night is sponsored by our good friend Neil Wanless and the crew at Bismarck Ranch, where they promote sustainable agriculture. Bismarck Ranch, ranching the way nature intended. Hey, the next stop on the 2015 PRS Tour will kick off the fall season. We'll join forces with the world's toughest rodeo for a 2-day extravaganza from the Indiana State Fair in Indianapolis, Indiana. If you are in the area, make plans to join us August 10 through 11, 2015. For ticket information, go to ProRoughstock.com. For Cord McCoy, Kelly Timmerman, and Kayla Zadell, thank you for inviting us in your homes today. I'm Justin McKee. See you next time.